So, this is Mansi back with another video for the second chapter of Subject English, class 10th. The name of the chapter is Fire and Ice, and the author of Fire and Ice is Robert Lee Frost, about whom we have discussed in the previous video when I was dealing with the first poem, that is The Dust of Snow. So, Robert Lee Frost, who took birth in America, as I have already told you, had taken birth in 1874 and died in the year of 1963. Let's learn something more about him. Here you can see the picture of Robert Frost when he was young. So Robert Frost was born in San Francisco in 1874. But after his father died when he was 11, his family moved to New England. So when he was only 11 years old, his father dies, and when his father dies, he along with his family moved to New England on the east coast where his grandparents lived, and in New England his grandparents were living. Here he attended high school where he was honored as an exceptional student with a fellow student, Eleanor White. So there in New England he attended the high school, and in his class there was a girl whose name was Eleanor White. Both of them were exceptional in studies. Recognizing that they were both very bright and adored poetry, they began a relationship and ultimately married. Both of them, Eleanor White and Robert Frost, could realize that they adored poetry, they were in love to write poetry. So this love for poetry writing paved the way for a beautiful relationship, and finally they got married. It was all about the biography, a brief biography of Robert Frost. Now I would like to explain the poem to you. So now it is the time to learn the detailed explanation, the summary of the poem Fire and Ice. So I have already talked about the biography of Robert Lee Frost. It is the time to get the line-wise explanation. So first I will recite the poem and then I will explain that to you. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. In this poem, Robert Frost has talked about the ultimate doomsday of the world. Doomsday means the ending day, the last day of this world. If the world is to be ended, then what would be the reason for this? He tells that some people are there who tells that fire is the thing which is going to be the reason of the end of this world. And Frost also tells that there are some other people who tells that ice will be the reason for the end of this world. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Then Robert Frost tells, if you ask me that according to me, what is the reason for the doomsday of this world, I would definitely favor the people who tells about the fire. Because here he compares human desire with fire. We all have the characteristic that we have desire for something or something in our lives. For example, desire for property, desire for wealth, desire for fortune, desire for luxurious life. So this desire of human beings, it can be the reason of the end of the world. Here also you can compare the world with the humanity. So you can decipher the meaning like this. In this world, if the humanity is to be ended, then desire of the mankind will be the first reason. The next, but if it had to perish twice, if I say that there is another option for the world to be ended, or there is another option for the humanity in this world to be ended, I think I know enough of hate. As I had already told that I have experienced of human desire, in the same way I have also experienced about human hateness, human hatred. As we know that we human beings again have another characteristic of hatred. We have hateness for each other. Whoever whom we do not like, we grow a hateness for them. We grow a grudge for them. So because of that hateness, the humanity will slowly, it slowly will be ended one day. So if there is another chance for the humanity to be ended, then that is of course the ice or the hatred or the hateness of the human beings. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. So here ice is compared with human hateness. Fire is compared with human desire. And would suffice. Suffice means to be sufficient. So both of these, fire and ice, are sufficient for the world to be ended. So that's it for the explanation of this poem, and in the next video I'll be discussing the important figure of speech and also the rhyme scheme. So stay tuned.